Phil and I met in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. He was a single dad, and he had 2 little boys, and he brought the kids to the daycare that my parents owned, and I worked there. So shortly after we started dating, we decided to get married, and then had 3 other kids, and so together we raised 5 kids. He was my soulmate, and we did everything together. We were best friends, and he was romantic, and that was one of the best things, is just knowing that he was always there, and that unconditional love that we had together, and how it was always about the family. Family came first no matter what. So that's how he lived his life. Phil had been really sick, and we had gone to several doctors trying to figure out what was going on with him. And we went to the emergency room. He had an ultrasound and found out that he did actually have pancreatic cancer, and he was given a prognosis of 3 to 12 months. So we planned this fabulous vacation with all our kids, with all our grandkids. And then the last day that we were there, Phil and I renewed our vows on the beach, and it was really, really great. And this is his ring that I wear around my neck.
We're called in to take care of people that are dying. It's you know, families are wherever they are. And it's our job, our place, to figure out where they are and get them to where they need to be in the time that's allowed. But also just to help them make the best out of just a terrible situation. And that's what we do.
Mount Evans is really unique in that, first of all, we do home health and hospice. So we're able to be with, say, somebody like Phil through the duration of his illness rather than home health and then later on switching to hospice. So there was a real continuity in our care for him, which I think is very unique with an organization. And I think we do carry that same commitment into the community for every family that we take care of.
We had planned this fabulous birthday party for him on July 17th, so we decided that we would invite everybody, friends and neighbors, and they knew that Phil didn't have much time left. So the morning of the party, the family wakes up and Phil is in a coma.
And so the house was full of people, and there were extra dogs, and I mean, it was amazing, and food everywhere. And people were going upstairs to say their goodbyes, and then he came to.
He woke up out of his coma for 2 hours, and then he made the rounds with everybody at the party, and then he went back into a coma, and that was, yeah, it was such a gift. So I thought that, you know, I'd never be able to speak to him again, and then all of a sudden he woke up.
I have this one memory of him. He was sitting on the couch, and he was like receiving people, and he was looking up at them and telling them what they meant to him. And everybody got a chance to do that to him. It was really cool.
Well, I mean, it was the hardest thing, saying bye, and I didn't know when he would have his last few breaths. I didn't know when that was going to happen, but we just said it was okay to go and that we'd be okay. He was surrounded with the kids, all 5 kids, me and Scout, our dog. We were all there when he died, and we all had our hands on him, and at the very end, the last 5 or 10 minutes, he locked eyes with me. He did, and he died looking at me. So it's hard, but it was such a gift to be able to do that at home and surrounded by family and friends.
Initially, they were all there with him, crying and really brokenhearted. But then they gradually then spun off and did various things to try to help themselves get through the day, have a cup of coffee, go out and pat the dog. take a walk. One of the boys went off and sang hymns to himself. It was very, very poignant.
You know, I laugh and say that I do a lot of nursing on my knees when I do hospice nursing, because people are sitting in chairs or they're laying in bed. And it's a holy time. They're leaving us. And I feel like the work I do, it's an honor to walk into someone's house and be able to step through this part of their life with them.
The people at Mount Evans, they are there for a reason. They're there because they have the heart and the soul of hospice. And my kids, they received help from, after Phil died, with the bereavement groups, and then I continued on with the bereaved spouses group. We had support from the chaplain too. She came and she prayed with Phil, and that was so helpful for him. Massage therapist came out and helped with some of his pain, and all that together just helped, and me knowing that we were doing everything to help Phil's comfort, whether it was spiritual, whether it was emotional, or physical. He got helped in every single way.
If you have a choice to be at home or in a hospital, I think that being at home where you love to be with your family, hands down, is the choice.
There's not enough words to express how grateful I am to the people of Mount Evans. They've lifted me up. They've surrounded me with love, with hugs, and it's 2 years later, and it's still there. I'm able to go on. I'm able to live my life and feel joy in my life, but knowing that that Phil's death, he was surrounded by people who loved him, and it couldn't have happened a better way. It really couldn't have happened a better way.